Session 17, Task Sheets. To increase the throughput of a bottleneck process step, start by preparing a task sheet that lists all the tasks performed in the process step and shows the task sequence number, a description of the task, the cycle time of the task, and you want to indicate which tasks are value-adding. There's a blank task sheet form in the operator workbook and an Excel copy on the Leader flash drive. You then add up the task cycle times to give the total cycle time for the process step. The process operators should prepare the task sheet since they likely have the greatest working knowledge of the process. To determine the current task cycle times, experienced operators should be able to estimate based on their experience, or time studies of the task can be performed. Precise cycle times are not needed. Estimates of the cycle times should be adequate, and effort should be focused on not trying to nail down the cycle times, but rather on improving the task. To do a time study, have someone observe the task as they are performed, and using a stopwatch, measure the time it takes for each task. The operators should decide whether a time study should be done. They should also choose the observer if they decide to do a time study. Uninvited time studies that are performed by managers or outsiders will harm operator motivation. Using the cycle time reduction methods discussed in sessions 13 and 14, suggest ways to reduce the cycle time of each task. Estimate the new cycle time. Set a target for the new cycle time. If throughput needs to increase by 10%, the cycle time would need to be reduced by 10%. Precise estimates of the new cycle times are not necessary. Focus efforts on implementing the improvements. The actual amount of increased throughput will validate the estimates. As operators gain experience using CHITA, their ability to estimate outcomes will improve. Initially focus on reducing non-value-adding tasks. Typically, most tasks are non-value-adding, so there is usually more opportunity for reducing the cycle time of non-value-adding tasks. For value-adding tasks, the initial focus should be on improving quality by reducing variability. We will discuss variability in sessions 19 through 23. When reducing the cycle time of value-adding tasks, there is a risk of affecting the quality of the outputs, which could upset customers and reduce sales. If you see an opportunity to reduce the cycle time of a value-adding task, and there is no risk of hurting quality, sure, go for it. Just remember that keeping your customers happy is critical. In class exercise 22, the operators will prepare a task sheet for the process step bottleneck located in class exercise 20. There is a blank task sheet form in the appendix of the operator workbook. There is an Excel task sheet included on the Leader Training flash drive. Initially estimate the cycle time for each task based on operator experience. Later you can validate the estimates with time studies of the task if you choose to. In sessions 13 and 14, we discuss several methods for reducing cycle time. The operators will suggest the methods that could be used to reduce the cycle times of the task. Then they will estimate the new cycle time for each task. Task sheets are used to reduce processing time. In session 18, the operators will look at reducing any setup or downtime for the bottleneck process step.